All right, so we're starting this off knowing that we might not actually release it, that this might not make it all the way.
That we may not even finish it.
All based on if I cross the line or not.
If you cross the line. And that is because today we're going to actually dive pretty deep into our personal experiences and our marriage and the feelings that come with working with your spouse. It's been like around 6 years that we've officially been working together.
Time flies.
When you're not having much fun. It's hard to find a word to describe what it is for our life and our family's life, because it's not just a place you go to work. It's not just a place I go to work. It is like the earth and the sun and the moon and the air that we breathe. It is literally everything for me, you, our kids, our entire futures.
Yeah, I mean, it's the vehicle, the vessel, the ride we're on, how we do all the things we do. And yeah, it's life.
I think there were times, and this is a huge part for me, which is why I'm starting with this, that I resented and hated this business. I wanted to treat it like it was just this job that you went to. I wanted you to be able to clock out of it and just it not even be something that we talked about at home. Like I just had all these like resentful feelings towards the business. When you are a business owner and when you're growing a company, it's almost like another child in your life. I mean, it is something you cannot ignore.
When everybody talks about like separation and balance, and I agree with all the people who say there is no balance. Try to balance out and put these specific little amounts into these buckets so everybody feels like they've done a good job. Like I feel like where we're getting to, what we've achieved is we've got to a place where business is life, and we enjoy our life, and we enjoy the business, and we enjoy the journey. But I know that there was a lot that we're going to speak on of the road from where we were at to where we're at now.
That was hard for me to realize. You're the first entrepreneur I've had in my life. Like I've never been around business owners. I was not raised by business owners. So realizing that the whole work-life balance act is kind of a lie for us anyway, that's not something that I need to subscribe to anymore. It's something that I did for so long. That was a huge mental shift. So let's start at the beginning. When you started your business, I was actually working for the state. And then we accidentally got pregnant. And that kind of snowballed everything at the same time you were starting your business.
Put in my 2 or 3 months notice to my job. And, in this process of moving away from the job, we found out we had a kid on the way. How are we going to handle this? How are we going to have a business? How are we going to have this newborn baby? You being at home, you being with...
Well, let's touch on that, because that was the first big conversation we had to have as people who... you're starting this big venture, and that's a big shift in your life, but essentially our lives are still kind of staying the same. I'm going to work every day and, whatever, you're just doing this cool new thing. But then when I got pregnant, it opened the can of worms of it doesn't make sense for me to keep working this job because now we'd have to pay childcare. So it was like this shift in you become self-employed and I become a stay-at-home mom, a future that I just, when we say accidental pregnancy, truly no other way to describe it than holy shit, this is not what we expected to be happening at this juncture of our lives. So kind of reconciling that, now not only are you, the burden of starting this business is on you, but now holy shit, you have a baby that you have to care for as well. The weight was really on you. But then I was a stay-at-home mom, and then we've sort of talked about
where that opens you up for this. Well, she's staying at home. Why can't she do this, this, and this to help the business?
Mm-hmm. And because you were growing so rapidly, you were really ready for, within a few months of us having the baby and me quitting my job and staying home, you were ready for someone to start answering the phones. And I was like, fuck no, not doing that. We've already talked about that, I think, on a past episode where that I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not going to be your secretary. I'm dealing with my own new identity, but bigger than that, which is the true topic of this episode, is we're partners. I'm not going to work under you.
Yeah, work at a lower level or some lower tier job to me when we should be side by side, because this is, even though she said this isn't her business, it's still we do this together.
This dynamic works well for a lot of people where there's the person in the CEO role and then maybe the partner takes over the administrative side or the office side and maybe becomes the office manager over a team of people, but maybe takes on that secretarial or assistant role for a while. And that can work really well. So maybe the judgments that maybe come out of our mouth from that are really stemming from our own experiences and not a judgment we're placing on anybody who may be listening. But for us, that was where I was at, was I have no interest in working under you or becoming your assistant at this point and where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah, things start expanding and it just feels obvious to ask your partner for that, whatever that fill that space. And maybe that does. I don't want to knock that on working for everyone. Because some people might love that, working together, the family, one person's answering the phone. I just know with our demeanors, like that wasn't like the direction we would go. And we've created an amazing dynamic where like your contribution's huge to this company. Like this company would not be the way it is without you. But we did that without you being like, here you are with your specific job and role. You know, you evolved into this amazing part of the company.
It's such a funny story how life unfolds because we didn't even know this was the route we were going to go on. I literally just said, no, I'm not going to be your assistant. End of sentence. I'm going to do my stay-at-home mom thing. I rejected any kind of participation in your business. I felt like I was raising my baby and you were raising your baby. And I was kind of like, we were living like two separate lives. And I was like, why? So now you need my help. I need your help. And you know what I mean? It just felt shitty for a while. I'll never forget this. I feel like this was yesterday in our first little tiny house. We hired a website design guy.
Oh, gosh.
The first time we had outsourced really anything, the first time we had spent a big chunk of money on anything.
I remember sitting there talking to the guy about how much it was going to be. I was so excited and it's crazy.
This guy who's designed a lot of websites in this industry, and I don't know where he lands now on the work that he's doing, and it's neither here nor there. But the result of what we got that we were so excited about was a completely plagiarized website, which not only doesn't perform well and gets punished by Google, it's so not anything we would ever put out into the world as a business.
Yeah.
So basically we had this whole holy shit moment, have a product that we cannot release to the world. I was like, fuck it. Like moving forward, we didn't know who to trust and what to do because we were so new in business. I was like, I'm at home. I'll figure out how to make a website. Like I can do that. Writing is my strength. Writing content is my strength. I don't know.
Born was the rock star.
Yes. And somehow that blossomed. It's like the worst thing turned into the coolest thing for life and our company and our relationship. Instead of working under you, I kind of became this offshoot of.
Yeah. She was like the person it was still like hiring someone to come work for you. So what was cool on the dynamic between us is it's kind of like hiring someone to come build your website. It's not like saying, hey, build this for me because you're working here for me or under me or whatever. So we have our professional come in and who is you, design this amazing website and build this awesome thing for us. It doesn't put you on a level. It puts you on as like you're just an asset to the company. You're an asset to this organization. And it keeps like a nice level playing field for a relationship. Because we're both, by the way, if you haven't already noticed from being married to me for so long, we're both hard-headed motherfuckers.
Well, and I think that's why I don't want to work under you.
You didn't want to have some level connection on where we're at. Because you just didn't want that because we're both competing, Yeah,
it's so true. We are both so different, but so similar, very competitive, very hard-headed, thrive when we're partners in whatever we're doing and we're not kind of one's above, one's below.